Hi, friends. Hi. I'm Leah Fireheart. This is the Fire Kitchen. And today we are making gummy candy. Um, I wear this dress way too much, but I, if there's ever a day to cosplay as Rainbow Bright, today is the day, right? Today's the day. Oh, I also have my glasses on, which I don't need. Oh. Okay, well, here, hold on. You guys can actually see this, but give me a second. I'm gonna here. First, let's finish my introduction. Oh my God, you guys, it's really early. um, right. So Chester's here somewhere. He's in his bed back there on the sofa, actually, as it happens, which is fine. Um, but he Shane is still here horizontal. Oh my God. Um, yeah, but the reason that I'm live early is that I have a doctor's appointment at 1, and so I have to be finished with stream by 12. Okay. So first of all, if within the next 26 minutes I do not get out I have a lot of things out here, right? And ingredients and stuff. But if I don't get out pans and start actually cooking, y'all have absolute permission to yell at me until I do, because I absolutely cannot go longer than 12 o'clock or I'll be late for my appointment. So right, let's see, what else? There was something else. I don't know. Let's say hi to people before I forget how to do that. Let's see. Scroll up. Gorecki was here first. Congratulations on arriving first, Gorecki. Amazing. Good morning, Brigitte. Hello. Jane, hi. Hello. Brigitte says Rainbow Who. Cosplay as Rainbow Bright is the best. I might actually have to cosplay as Rainbow Bright instead of just anyway. Pie says you don't wear this dress too much. No such thing. This dress is a delight. I love it. I do love it. And thank you. And also hello. Hi, good morning. So yeah, you guys, I'm having a really hard time not going full 80s girl on this thing. Okay, so here's the problem, right? So the problem is that I'm not really a gummy candy person, but this concept has awoken in me a recollection of childhood that I did not expect to be this nostalgic about it. I don't really eat gummy candy. It's not really my thing, but when I was a kid, obviously, you kind of eat whatever sugar people give you, and people give you gummy things, and so you eat gummy things. It's just the way it is. The other interesting thing is that actually, weirdly, gummy bears, the Haribo gummy bears, have a lactose containing ingredient in them, and I don't know what it is, but they cause full meltdown for Grog, and so he hasn't had gummy candy either because he's terrified of it now, because it's not the kind of thing that you expect to contain lactose. So anyway, and so anyway, the whole nostalgia thing is out of control. Do you guys remember? You guys aren't going to remember. All of you are younger than I am. How the hell are you going to remember this? There used to be a Gummy Bears cartoon. There was a Gummy Bears cartoon, and the theme song for the Gummy Bears cartoon has been stuck in my head for 3 days. It's wild. Brigitte remembers. No, you don't. I don't believe you. Goddess Thane, hey, hi, hello. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. So I'm trying really hard not to go full on belting out the Gummy Bears theme song, and it's really, really hard. We're not even making gummy bears. We're making so we're gonna try this mold, which I'm a little bit concerned might actually melt. So we don't know how well this is going to go. This is, I think, actually for chocolate. And then I have these silicone gummy bear molds, because I wasn't sure that my original plan was A, going to work, or B, was going to be enough to contain the copious joy of all the gummy candy that this makes. You guys might remember, if you've been around for a while, that we put a Gummy Venus de Milo mold on our throne wish list a while ago in preparation for making gummy candy, because I've never done this and I have no idea how it's going to work. Which is this. I meant to actually post the Simpsons thing in Discord this morning, and then I forgot. And so if you don't know what this is referencing, I don't actually really either, but somebody made a joke about it at one point, and so we ended up like getting a gummy Venus. Actually, I think it's a candle mold, but I think it'll work. This was the suggestion, right, from the people who have done this before, that you can use candle molds. So we'll see. Garegi remembers it was disquieting. Brigitte says, look, my childhood involved watching American Hegemony. Garegi says, I remember that Hegemony hedgehogs from Mars. Oh no, not hedgehogs again. Why does my stream always devolve toward hedgehogs? It's like the inevitable heat death of the universe, except hedgehogs. Brigitte has put this in chat. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, you can click on the link. Hopefully Brigitte will also put that in Discord so that people can actually look at it later. Right, water. Bice's hedgehogs and bricks, the two universal constants. Yes. Hold on, I forgot to take my pills this morning. Give me a second. This happens a lot on Thursdays. But particularly this Thursday, because it's like an hour and a half earlier than I normally go live. Normally, this time, I'm kind of like, well, I mean, I don't know. Lately, this time I've actually been playing Fortnite, because I keep getting invitations to play Fortnite at 8:30 in the morning. But usually most days, I by about like 8:30, I've just about finished my coffee, and I'm just kind of starting, like my brain is mostly awake.
They got the mustard.
Link, hi, hello, thank you for the lurk, I appreciate you. Awake against your will. Relatable. In fact, I was just talking about that. I'm not much of a morning person. I get up at 6 a.m. every morning because Grog has to leave for work at 6:30 and he makes me breakfast. And so that's like incentive to get up and out of bed at 6:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. But like I'm not really awake for like about 2.5 hours, I think is about right. And this morning I was like, I had already showered. I was drying my hair. I was sitting down to do my makeup. And I was like, I had already done all my stream setup, and I was like, okay, we're doing this thing. But it was an act of will, like a complete, like, you must remain in motion no matter how much your brain is unhappy about this. And so I did. Wait, hold a second. Let me stuck in my throat. My meds are not very interesting. It's a probiotic and a B12 pill and an allergy pill, because I'm just like my dog and I have to take allergy medication. Okay, so right. Where was I going with this? I don't even remember. Where was I going with this? Oh my god. Okay. Oh, that's where I was going with this. So I was just sort of like scrambling to make sure I posted all my like go live notifications, and I had my glasses on, and I was like, where are my glasses? Which is like a perpetual thing for me, right? Like my phone, right? Everybody loses their phone. I lose my phone all the time. But the thing about my phone is that I can actually call it. I can make Android like I can go to Google and it can be like, hey, Android, call my phone, and it'll make it ring whether the ringer is on or not. So finding my phone is easy. My glasses, though, don't have a ringer on them. And so, especially when I'm setting up for stream, like I'll like, especially if I have to have a shower, right? I'll go in the bathroom and I'll take my glasses off and I'll put them like on the shelf in the bathroom. Sometimes when I get out of the shower and I go into the bedroom to put on clothes, I will bring them with me or put them on or something. Sometimes I won't. So sometimes they're in the bathroom, sometimes they're in the bedroom. Sometimes I put them on when I go into the bedroom to get changed, and then I take them off and I leave them like on the nightstand or on the bed or something. And then I go into the office where my vanity is, where I put on all my makeup. Sometimes at that point is when I take off my glasses because I have to do my eye makeup, right? Then sometimes I remember to pick them up and bring them like into the kitchen or into the living room or whatever. No, they're never in the fridge, Brigitte. They are never in the fridge. That has never been a thing. But Brigitte bears the brunt of a lot of this because often when I'm setting up for stream, Grog is not home. And so I text Brigitte like, I've lost my glasses again. And this happens especially when I'm setting up for stream, just because I'm like, I go from like the bathroom to the bedroom to the office to the kitchen. Sometimes I go into the dining room. Sometimes I go in the living room. And I don't know, glasses could be anywhere in the house, right? Anywhere. Cherney, hi. Hanks, thank you for the hydrate. You're not actually here. Oh, we have an illegal hi from Cherney. Hi, Cherney. It's good to see you. Wait, aren't you also cooking today? Did I see that somewhere? You're not here though, so don't answer that question. I can find out myself. It is easy. I can just go right here to a place called Discord, which is the magical repository of all information about all of my friends. And I know what most of you are doing on a regular basis, any time of the day or night, because I can tell whether you're on Discord or not. I seem to recall seeing that like on Instagram or something though. Anyway. Okay, yeah. Yep, exactly. I knew it. Yeah, Cherney is also doing a cooking stream this morning, which is fun. Right. Oh, okay. So Brigitte sent me a little present, which is this. Look at, do you see it? Do you see? It's a little unicorn, and it has a little place to put my glasses. So now I have enacted a personal policy that anytime my glasses are not on my face, the glasses are on the unicorn. And I can and the only trick now is to keep from moving the unicorn around the house. So I think for the most part, the unicorn's going to live back there in the living room, like right by I have, like, do you see so back there is where I sit most of the time, like sit on the sofa right there next to that big lamp. And so I think the unicorn is going to live right there next to the lamp. And so I don't lose the thing. Oh, pies. You are so conscientious. I love you so much. Time passing reminder, T-minus 15 minutes. Okay, so we have 15 more minutes to BS at each other. And then I actually have to get started on this. This is me fully caffeinated, by the way. Normally when you guys see me at 10:30, the caffeine has started to wear off a little bit. And at 4, it's like I'm practically soporific, right? But this morning I'm just like, hey, coffee must stay in motion. Coffee help in motion. It's just when I was still working in an office, I had a boss that I drove absolutely up a wall. At one point he finally said, he was like, you know, you're very high energy in the morning. And I was like, is that a complaint? And he was like, no, just an observation. I'm like, okay, that's a complaint, whatever. Right. But okay. All right. So let's actually talk about the recipe a little bit, which is where it's up here. I have never done this before. I have no idea how this is going to work, if this is going to work. This is very much like our pop rock stream from last week, because I am just not a candy person. And so I don't really know how to candy. Naga, hi. Oh my gosh, hi. It's so good to see you. How are you? How are things? You just celebrated something. I was lurking in your stream. what were you celebrating that day? Actually, Brigitte, if you could give a shout out to Naga, that would be amazing. Misaligned Naga is someone that I met through our friend Santa, so Naga is good peeps. Yeah, her birthday, end of January. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah. So they're good peeps. Terrific singing voice. Oh my gosh, you guys, and like and so much like main character in a musical energy. Okay, yeah, like that. So if you enjoy that level of energy, which I assume you do, given where you are, you will drop her a follow. Right. So okay. So this gummy candy, we use 8 ounces of granulated sugar, 3 tablespoons of sorbitol. What even is sorbitol? We don't know. Something fake sugar, I think. But this is just a thing that apparently exists in gummy bears. We're not making gummy bears. We're making, you guys, every time I say gummy bears, it's a description. Is it inaccurate though? Is it inaccurate? You tell me if this is inaccurate, because I don't think it is. Sorbitol powder. Frightening, but that's what we're using. I had to order it from Amazon because my local like candy making store doesn't. See, this is what I'm saying. The gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare. They're the gummy bears. Now hopefully that's out of my system, because honest to God, you guys, 3 whole days. I cannot. Ever since I started like seriously sitting down, making sure I had everything, I just can't get this stupid song out of my head. It's ridiculous. Pi says, now I kind of want a game show style stream with Naga and Brig as dueling musical leads. Oh my God, I must have it. With Leah as the scene-stealing host. Brigitte says March 2nd. Yes. Naga says, my one friend has a BRB screen that's just the Gummy Bears theme in German over and over. Okay, so part of the problem here, right? Part of the problem is exactly that. I don't know who this is actually, but most people have rules against like promoting other people in other people's streams, and so I appreciate you not like just throwing it out there. But now that I've asked for it, will you tell me who that is? Because I'm curious. But somebody that I watch play Fortnite every morning, basically, she's Swedish. and apparently there's also a Gummy Bears theme in Swedish somewhere on the internet. She has this thing that she does on Saturdays when she plays games with her subscribers, where people can like make like YouTube things happen on the screen. And one of the favorite things to make happen on the YouTube screen is the Gummy Bears song in Swedish. It's part of the problem of why like that thing just like constantly gets stuck in my head. Okay, so we have our granulated sugar, our sorbitol. So we need corn syrup, glucose, honey, or golden syrup. Okay, so this morning I realized that despite thinking about this for 3 days, that I was running a little low on corn syrup. I think because when I did the grocery list, I had it and then I used it for something. So I placed a little online order, but at least I didn't do it live on camera this time, for more corn syrup, which is disgusting, but that's what we need. Molly says, wakes up, did I hear Swedish? You didn't hear Swedish, but you did hear, yes, you heard Gummy Bears cartoon theme song in Swedish that gets played on this girl's stream on Saturdays on a semi-regular basis. Naga says, I wanted to say it was Trashin' One, but now that I say it, that doesn't seem right. I hadn't seen it in a while. It might have been one of the weird things CJ Lawfison was doing. Oh, interesting. Oh, now and now Molly is providing lyrics to the Gummy Bear song in Swedish. Oh no. I'm not going to sing it in Swedish. I can barely sing it in English. Okay, so 6 ounces of cool water, fruit juice, wine, or vodka. Okay, so we are gonna actually just use water. Um, 44 grams of Knox gelatin, about 6 packets. When I have just like loose gelatin here. Um, and then 2 teaspoons of citric acid, which we have because we used that for the pop rocks that didn't work. And then candy flavoring. And what I've got is I actually went to the candy store because I wanted to get another mold because I wasn't sure how much this is going to make, and you kind of have to like get it into a mold immediately because it'll start to set. And so I bought a couple of different things. I already had the key lime. And so for the Gummy Venus de Milo, we're going to make that lime. And then for the rest of them, I do also...
in fruit or dessert.
Vintage! Oh my goodness, thank you for the raid! Molly, I love you. It's the entire Gummy Bears theme song. Arcadia, hi, hello Raiders. Rashid, if you're around, could I get a shout out for Vintage? Thank you. So I was actually in Vintage's stream this morning, so I know that Vintage was playing Dragon Age Inquisition and running around doing, like, I don't know if you guys have played Dragon Age Inquisition, but like there's kind of a few quests that like make sense, even though they're kind of like early stage quests in like early stage places, they kind of make sense to do kind of later in the story because you can kind of like smash them together. And so Vintage was like kind of running around doing all of these like early/late game quests, and so I was very amused that she approaches this the same way that I do. How was it? How was the rest of stream? How did things go? It's really good to see you. The dress is so cute. Thank you. I'm giving real Rainbow Bright energy today because we're making gummy candy. Right. So anyway, Vintage is lovely. Absolutely wonderful person, with a very welcoming and amusing community. Tends to be live around this time. In fact, actually today is nice. This is nice. We got a chance to raid because like ordinarily, Vintage is Australian, and so our time zones like overlap half the year, but not the rest of the year. Like our stream times overlap half the year, but not the rest of the year. And so this is especially lovely that I had to go live early this morning because of my doctor's appointment. Get to see Vintage. This is so cool. Vintage says I have to maximize efficiency somehow because I'm generally terrible at that. Vintage is in grad school and has children and has a stream schedule and also a job. I think one of the things that could probably not be said about Vintage is that Vintage is bad at maximizing efficiency. I think actually that maximizing efficiency might be one of Vintage's most exercised skills. It was fun though. Killed 2 dragons. Cool. Very cool. Congratulations. Good job. Opting out says Leah Fireheart. Okay, I guess. If Vintage says you're cool, I'll watch for a bit. Thank you. Thank you, opting out. By the way, hi and welcome to here. I know you're brand new, but it's nice to meet you. Vintage says, look, not efficient, just very determined. Okay, fair. Right. So, if you are new here, I didn't see any new names, but you never really know who might be lurking. I'm Leah Fireheart. I do a lot of cooking here on this channel. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do cooking, and then on Fridays, we do gaming. Right now, we're playing Hades. So tomorrow, I will be live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'm here in the U.S. For Hades. So if you're more into gaming, come back for that. But today, we're making gummy candy. I think, hopefully, we're gonna try. Oh, Gorecki says the question is Vintage, Melbourne, or Sydney. That's right. I actually have told Gorecki several times that she ought to follow you because you two, I think, would find each other amusing. But and Vintage also does cooking on her channel. Poppin' cooking. In fact, making essentially gummy candy right there at her desk. It's just probably a lot easier than what I'm doing. Although I've never tried it, so I don't know. Abby says, so all those gummy worms are for Abby. Yes, because I don't really like gummy candy. Either you might have to fight Des for them though, because I don't. Des also really likes gummy candy. Burns, hi. Oh my gosh, it's so high. It's so good to see you. Yeah, and enjoy your lurk. I just love that emote. Right. So, first of all, yeah. So that's me, I guess. And you guys know about vintage, so that's good. But I do know that it is probably getting slightly late for vintage because it usually is when vintage is done streaming. And so if you have to run off, do not worry about that at all. It is lovely to have you here. It is lovely to have you here. It's lovely to have you bring all your friends over here, and thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Burns is just waking up. So am I. Can't you tell? Yeah, I'm super caffeinated today. Right. However, I see the time ticking, and I know Pies is probably about. You will need to go crash out soon. Yes. Okay, of course you will. And Jim is lurking. Fabulous. Hi, Jim. Hi. Hello. Right. So, because I do have a hard out today, I have to finish this by noon. Then I'm going to go ahead and actually switch over to the food cam. And Kaylee, oh my gosh, hi. And Arcadia is cleaning records. Everybody's gonna lurk because I'm starting the food. No. Thank you for the lurks, you guys. I appreciate it. Right. So I'm going to switch over to the food cam, and we're actually going to start this because I don't know how long it's going to take. And I don't know how this is going to go. So I guess we're going to find out. All right. Hold on a second. $9.29. I beat it by a minute. I'm amazing. All right. Arcadia is still watching, just can't quite reach the keyboard. Oh, water. Right. Water's good. Lassie, hi. It's good to see you. I received the go ahead from Grog. So I think next Thursday, potentially, if that works for you, we might do your set the menu redemption. We won't be live this early. This is too early. But hopefully if that works for you, if you can at least watch a piece and parcel of it, then maybe we'll do that Thursday. Naga says mainly my lurk is because I'm working from home at the moment. Oh no, totally fair. No, I honestly never mind I never mind people lurking. I'm just teasing. And Abby is going to switch to PC. Excellent. All right. So, right. This is really interesting. I don't usually, right. Okay. So I've been baking since I was about 8 years old. I've been cooking routinely, like almost every night since I was like 20, probably. So that's a long time. And it's unusual that I will tackle a project with so very many ingredients that I'm not that familiar with. So I don't know how this is going to go. I'm not familiar with the process. I'm not familiar with the ingredients. And we're just going to be winging it. So let's see how this goes. Pi says, Leah, speaking as somebody with ADHD, switching over to the food cam and saying, seconds before the clock ticks over to 9:30 is an epic flex like you wouldn't believe. Is it really? It's interesting because a lot of my friends have ADHD, right? A lot, like so many. And every once in a while they share things like silly memes and things or even tips and tricks or like things that aren't silly, but like are intended to be helpful. And so and there's a lot of times when I look at those things and I'm like, I'm definitely not ADHD, right? Like I'm just not, but that is highly relatable. Burns is my half lurk is because I'm getting coffee that is much needed. Coffee is the best thing in the history of ever. I'm not that familiar with candy flavorings as a thing. thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Naga says, how did I get in here without following? Something is wrong in the universe. I think it's one of those things, because I know for a while I wasn't following you either. And I think it's one of those things where we just have so many people in common that like, you just like see things in Discords and like, I don't know. It's just funny. But no worries. And thank you for the follow. Jane says, update. I am vertical now to get coffee. Jane is also getting coffee. This being a coffee streamer thing, this is kind of fun. I have my own coffee streamers. Like Pathetic Wolf and Vintage. Vintage also counts. The Swedish Fortnite player, she counts. Like people that I only really watch when I'm like drinking, I mean like actively watch when I'm drinking my coffee. Like it's pretty fun. Naga says I just clicked the thing. Oh, this is where the cool people will be right now. Yes. Exactly. Abby says, can we crowdfund some energy for me to vertical as well? I'm still EP. I don't know if you're a coffee drinker. I feel like you're not. Are you not a coffee drinker? Do you drink tea? Oh, by the way, Abby. Oh my God. I'm so glad you're here. Okay. Right. So, this doesn't have anything to do with the wheel, by the way, which if you want me to look, I'm happy to look, but you have to send me like specs, like computer specs. But yesterday and today too. Yesterday I went out to the pasty place. That's like I drove, it's like a 20-minute drive, and I went out and I got a pasty for lunch. And I got two. So I got one for yesterday and then I got one for today because I knew that today I wasn't going to have a whole lot of time to make lunch. So about 11:30 I'm going to throw the pasty in the oven and it'll heat it up and then I can eat it and then just be off to my doctor's appointment. And so but when I drove to the pasty place, there's a new restaurant next door. There's a new restaurant next door to the pasty place. And it's specifically Nepalese food. All of the places that I had seen thus far around me are Indian with some food from Nepal. Okay. This place is called, I have to look at it. Well, hold on a second. Let me find out what the actual name of it is. Not that I can actually see my phone. It's called Royal Nepal Bistro. I didn't know it existed. So hopefully at some point we will get a chance to actually like try something other than Momo, which would be cool. Let's see. Where am I? Okay. Byrne says I am, but also not ADHD, and I exhibit signs, but I'm also very sure I don't have it. Yeah, right. Like it's funny. I don't know what it is. It might be that there are some things about some mental illnesses that are similar. That like that mine expresses itself particularly specifically as anxiety, and depending on how the anxiety is going, potentially depression. But I feel like there may be some overlap in terms of like coping strategies for like kind of dealing with those things. Lassie says in theory Thursday should be okay. Okay, cool. Good. Abby says it used to be, not anymore. I had to stop because it was 8 or 9 cups a day. Oh my God. Abby says, no, you have to go there and let me know. I can suggest menu items. Absolutely. In fact, I will send you a link to their menu so that you can scout it out for me ahead of time. Pi says, what's bonkers to me is that apparently for people with normal brain chemistry, daily meds are uppers, like recreational pills to get high. I take them every day and they literally just make me feel like I can reply to an email. That makes sense. That is kind of how that works. Burns says I have executive dysfunction because of my disability. It's part of ADHD, but it's not specifically ADHD. Makes sense. And what I'm talking about here is executive dysfunction too, right? But as a result of anxiety. And so you're right. Like managing executive dysfunction is going to be the same, whether you are not exactly the same. You're going to use some different strategies. Like obviously, if I were to take the pills that Pies takes, that wouldn't go well for me. But like at least like some of the more like managing the rhythm of your day kind of strategies that I'm thinking about are things that are maybe more applicable across different things that cause executive dysfunction. Abby says, please do send me a menu that I can live vicariously. I have it right here. Why don't I just do it? Because otherwise, you know me. Speaking of executive dysfunction, I will, in fact, forget. Eep. Royal Nepal Bistro. Nepalese restaurant. So exciting. Super exciting. Yeah, I can't wait. And I do have a oh, you're right there at the top because your name starts with A. So convenient. There. So I don't remember what I was talking about. There was something I was going to be, there's something I was going to say. No, I don't remember. Okay. Sunny, hi, hello. Bern says I was on meds throughout school, but took myself off after graduation because I didn't see it doing any more good. Abby says, how crass can we be here? I mean, the rule has always been, that I try to subsume the level of crassness into things that I can read with plausible deniability as to them being crass. Does that make sense? Brigitte has returned. I didn't realize you were gone. Hi, welcome back. Gareki says there's a joke somewhere about the crass section in the orchestra, but I can't string it together. That was actually 2 puns, but I'm only pushing the pun button once. I'm sorry. But okay, we are doing the thing. We're doing things. Combine gelatin and water or flavored liquid in a heat-proof container. Stir gently to combine. Let sit for 5 minutes to give your gelatin time to bloom. A heat-proof container. Why does it need to be heat-proof? Combine together the corn syrup, sugar, and sorbitol in a medium saucepan. Stir gently to combine. Bring to a simmer over medium-high heat. Once simmering, wash down the sides of the pan with water using a clean pastry brush to make sure any stray grains of sugar are fairly dissolved. Okay. Remove the mixture from the heat. Stir in your citric acid and gelatin mixture with a spatula until gelatin is melted. Combine water and gelatin in a heat-proof container, but you're putting the gelatin into cool water, and then you're putting the gelatin and the citric acid into the saucepan. Okay, let the mixture sit for 10 minutes to allow the mixture to clear and foam to collect at the top. After 10 minutes, the foam should be able to be easily scooped off the surface with a spoon. Divide your mixture by straining the liquid into 3 bowls and add in any coloring or candy flavorings that you want. Spray your molds lightly with some oil and wipe out the excess. Pour your mixture into molds. Let your gummy bears chill in the fridge for 6 hours until the bears are set, but 24 hours are best. Once they're set, they can be stored at room temperature. Why does that have to be in a heat-proof container? I'm so confused. Okay. Naga says that would be why I got no response. Oh no. I'm very confused.
I'll have what she's having.
What concert costs just 45 cents? 50 Cent featuring Nickelback.
Lassie, thank you for the bits. Okay, Abby, I was going to say, speak for yourself on the drugs part. I'm here raw dogging reality because I don't have health insurance yet. That's totally fine. Also very funny. In a tragic kind of way. Abby says, teleport Brig to the newest Nepalese restaurant in the UK, but nothing but an uncooked bag of papadum. Sunny says, wouldn't the citric acid just dissolve the gelatin? I don't know, but that's what it says to do. Boop, 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 Byrne says, Abby, well, caffeine is a stimulant just like the meds would be, so aha. Hi, Mom. Hello. Good morning. Early for you. Holy heck. Abby says we all gotta concede something, Burns. Yeah. So, generally speaking, when I'm doing something that I'm totally unfamiliar with, I'm just gonna follow the recipe. Presumably, people on the internet are not actually out to get us, and so hopefully, the thing that we're doing is gonna work. And if not, that's okay. We've learned something, and we can try another recipe another time. Right. Okay. So gelatin and water. Let's do the thing. We're gonna go ahead and use their heat-proof container, even though I don't actually understand why that would necessarily need to be that way. And then I need a scale because I got to measure out the gelatin. It's actually a shipping scale. My food scale is broken, and I don't know how to fix it. But maybe I might just need another one, honestly. But in the meantime, this one will work. Gelatin or flavored water or flavored liquid. How much flavor? How much water? 6 ounces. 6 ounces. Okay. This has a 6 on it somewhere. Cool water. Okay. Make sure that this is correct. Stop shimmying. No, I need a little bit more. We're going to try to be precise here. Perfect. All right. And then this. And then we're going to take our gelatin out of the little gelatin baggie. Oh, I have to change this to grams because we need 44 grams of gelatin. I'm being very brave here and hoping that I don't accidentally put too much in. 4 more grams. Perfect. Oops. Haha. So there is 44 grams of gelatin. And then we're going to get just a teaspoon. I'm just going to gently stir this as indicated. All right. And then we have to let that sit for 5 minutes, apparently. Let's put this over here. No dairy for Mr. Grog. Agreed. No dairy for Mr. Grog, which makes things like Indian food challenging. Because yogurt, there's a yogurt in a lot of things. And so yeah, and yogurt in not necessarily obvious ways. And hard to communicate sometimes that butter is okay, but butter is okay. But no yogurt. So no yogurt, heavy cream, sour cream, buttermilk, that kind of thing. Jane says I never stop shimmying. Yes, butter is fine. Butter's fine. Yeah, so no desserts that are just a block of cheese and heavy cream. No desserts that are just a block of cheese and heavy cream. Yes, correct. Gareki says, what else is there? Cinnamon and other nuts too. Yeah. Cinnamon and other nuts sounds great. Okay, stir gently to combine. Let sit for 5 minutes. Combine together the corn syrup, sugar, and sorbitol in a medium saucepan. Okay, so let's grab a medium saucepan, which is over here because Grog used it for oatmeal this morning. Plop. Actually, you know what? Let's do this over here so you guys can actually see me do this. So let's grab 8 ounces, right? 8 ounces of corn syrup. Yep. This is, wow. Okay. Fun. We're just going to stand here for a little bit while we drip out small amounts of corn syrup into this pan. Oh, I have to change the mode though, because weirdly, 8 ounces Not that helpful. Um, meant to say pistachio. Cinnamon is not a nut. Cinnamon is not a nut. That is true. Cinnamon is a bark, but I didn't notice. I just took your word for it that cinnamon is a nut. This is the level of trust we have, Abby. Oh, right. And Firebot, I forgot. Yes. So Firebot is helping here. So is helping remind me of something that I was going to talk about. My friend Cherney, who popped in and said hi a little bit ago, is organizing with the Mountain Shade Village Discord a online virtual convention on Twitch and Discord. This is going to be happening on February 24th, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. My time slot is going to be around 1:30 until like 4 or so Eastern. And we're going to talk about friendship. So that's gonna be, I think that's gonna be fun, and I hope you don't. I hope that sounds fun to you, and that you don't have anything to do that day, because it's a whole full day full of amazing people talking about stories and how stories come to be. So there's the Discord link. There's the convention link there. You can also get a link to the MSV Discord there, I think. But if you need it, let me know. And come back here on the 24th for the convention. Brigitte's cinnamon is neither a nut nor a bark. It's Satan's topsoil. No, Brigitte, it is definitely a bark. And I know you don't like it, but I do. So there. Burns says, I got an alert that snow will stop at 9:59, but it's not snowing. Huh. Confusing. Hobby says, because Satan is a top. This just turned itself off. This very unhelpful scale just turned itself off. So I'm actually glad that I just looked down and it was at about 1 ounce. So we're just going to put 7 more ounces into this thing. Not helpful. Scale. Arcadia Systems fighting words. Brigitte just doesn't like cinnamon. I don't know. Nobody can be perfect, right? Am I too late for the forms? You are not. We are currently pouring corn syrup into this pan. This has so many weird ingredients. I've never made gummy worms before. But hi, welcome to here. Have you made gummy candy before? Okay. There. Corn syrup. Amazing. Naga says you better watch out, Burns. That invisible snow is going to stop and then you'll miss it. Yes. All right. Oh, Abby's going to go get hot cocoa. Yum. Delicious. Burns says it's okay. I don't like the snow anyway. I don't like the snow anyway. I do like the person snow, but I do not like snow. It is very inconvenient. There are times when it's nice. If there's enough snow that I have to stay home, then it's not so bad. But if I have to go out in it, then no thank you. All right. So corn syrup, sugar, 8 ounces of granulated sugar. Where's my sugar? Here it is. Nope, you just eat it. All right, fair. That is totally fair. Well, these are not going to be edible for probably about 24 hours. They have to chill in the fridge. Apparently is what I've been told. But then after that, they are stable at room temperature. So that's exciting. We're putting sugar on top of sugar is what's happening here. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? It is candy after all. We're putting one type of sugar on top of another type of sugar, which is like a whole thing, right? Okay. And now Sunny wants hot chocolate. It does sound very good. I agree. I'm not going to have hot chocolate, but I might make tea later. I don't know. And sorbitol. Fake sugar. So now the fake sugar goes in. I mean, luckily all of this has been pretty easy so far. We just kind of have to like measure all the things. That's not too bad. So 3 tablespoons of sorbitol. At some point, I'm actually going to have to like Google this and figure out like what the actual like function of sorbitol is. I mean, I don't think it's to like make it extra sweet. There's got to be something else, right? Because this has already got like a lot of sugar in it. Also, toxic to dogs. Don't let Chester have this. He's gonna make Sunny hot chocolate. So cute. Burns can mix hot chocolate mix into coffee. That sounds delicious. Sunny says just learning to just learning to teleport through light particles. Yes, Burns is a genius. I agree. Okay. So, stir gently to combine, bring to a simmer over medium-high heat. Okay, so here's the thing. We're not going to do that because stirring corn syrup just sounds terrible. So we're gonna turn on our medium-high heat, and we're just going to let that start to come up to temperature because, sounds terrible. And we don't need this anymore. I can get this out of the way. All right. So the next thing we need to do, though, we need to grab a few bowls, and we're going to use these, and then maybe this one, because it says to separate them into containers later so that we can flavor and color them differently. So to go back to what I was talking about earlier, I got key lime. Actually, let me open these because I feel like once all of this starts to come together, it's going to happen fairly quickly. So I think we probably want to do as I say, not as I do. Don't use a steak knife for this. It's a terrible idea. It's a good way to stab your hand. We're all about safety here. No, we're not. But it is genuinely a terrible idea. So key lime, and that's going to go in our mold, which, now that I think about it, let's actually, let's also grab hold on. Just in case that goes poorly, we don't get gummy juice everywhere. I don't really even know how to use this. It came with like string, I'm guessing, to like tie it together, but also it's kind of like, I don't know, whatever, we'll try it. Just in case it like overflows itself or like leaks or something. Let's hope it doesn't, but you know, you never really know. So I also have strawberry. I have strawberry flavoring and I have mango flavoring, because if you're going to make gummy bears or gummy whatever, you may as well do something fun and different. Also, I really thought I was going to be doing this before Valentine's Day, and so I have the little heart molds. I thought I would do like a sparkling wine flavor. There we go. And make those like all cute and pink. So I don't know if we'll do that, but we could if we wanted to do that. So I'm going to open that too. Oh, okay. Sunny has also declared it Flannel Day. Oh, well, I don't think I actually even own any flannel. That's distressing. I don't think I can participate in Flannel Day. Grog does. I suppose I could grab one of Grog's flannels. Probably the child safety scissors aren't actually any better a tool for this than the the steak knife was, but there we go. Um, Abby says, I will provide hot drinks to anyone that requires it. There will always be hot drinks in my house. I feel like that's like for certain segments of the universe, like the bare minimum for good hospitality. Um Naga says my coffee has a dose of cardamom and clove simple syrup in it. Highly recommend. That sounds delicious. Okay. However, we do in fact actually have an ad break incoming. So, hopefully I have fixed the sound. Those of you who are subscribed, will see something. Those of you who are not subscribed may see like 3 minutes of ads. But what that means is that you won't miss anything. I'm just going to stand here and do nothing for 3 minutes while you guys are all in ads. So we're gonna take a quick break. We will be right back. And when we get back, I think we'll probably be ready to do some gummying. See you soon. This is a teapot. Should I do a little? I'm a little teapot because I can. In fact, there's even a Chester version. I don't even know if I remember the Chester version. I should just do the regular version. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my hand. Wait, here is my handle. Here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Tip me over and pour me out. Now, what's the Chester version? Chester version is, I'm a little Chester, short and stout. Here is my tail. Here is my snout. When I get all steamed up, hear me Is it shout? Or did we come up with something better? See, there's a Chester version. Hot, fresh donuts. Specifically, I wouldn't have known to look for that, but I was thrilled to find it. Via romance, of all things. my romance reading friends were the ones who recommended that to me. So that's a tablespoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda. What did I do with that half teaspoon? Here it is. Oh, it's got hot dog juice on it now. Let's find something else. Because we're saving artifacts now. And then here's what we've got, right? Hey y'all. Sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, we we fixed everything except for one small thing. So yeah, there we go. There's the thing that we fixed. So now at least we figured out what I did. That I didn't change back. But we're good now. Woohoo! Yay. Also, hi, Gotti. How are you? It's really good to see you. I saw you earlier, and you were talking about having chicken katsu udon, and I was like, I want that now. I don't like you anymore. Always with the pretty dresses. Thank you. Yes, that's pretty dresses. They are my shtick. They are my thing. All right. So, I had to bring this to a simmer, and so this is our stuff and things that we are using to make our gummy stuff. And it wants me to wash down the sides with a pastry brush to prevent any undissolved sugar from making it into the final product. I feel like that's not going to be a problem just because we didn't really stir it and we just kind of waited for it to like dissolve itself. So now I have to turn this off, right? Remove the mixture from the heat and stir in your citric acid and gelatin mixture. Oh, I didn't combine the gelatin, did I? I mean, I didn't combine the... Wait. Combine gelatin, stir gently to combine. Once simmering, wash down the sides of the pan. Remove the mixture from the heat. Okay, we're removing the mixture from the heat. Stir in your citric acid. Oh, and I guess separately your gelatin mixture. Okay, with a spatula until the gelatin is melted. Okay, so let me grab a spatula. Let's grab a spatula here. And then we have our gelatin mixture here. And then our citric acid. So citric acid is 2 teaspoons of citric acid, which it says leave out if you're using alcohol, which I am not using alcohol. Presumably there are instructions for using alcohol to make alcoholic gummies. I'm confused by that, but it is what it is. So 2 teaspoons of citric acid. Okay. And then the gelatin. Oop! I just dropped it. Ow. Ooh, my poor knees. Okay. And then this is like fully bloomed. So this is like our solid gelatin mixture here. All right. And then we're going to use a spatula to mix these things together. Oh, interesting. It fizzes a little bit. Probably because of the additional water. This smells disgusting. Like, it smells so bad. Like, what the hell? Until the gelatin is dissolved, I guess. Like, this really, like, it's interesting, like, to make something that you're supposed to eat that smells this bad. It smells like I don't know. It's just not. It's not a good smell. Um. Let's see. Oh, okay. Abby says I got lost in the sauce. I actually found and bought a wheel controller for $20. It's a bit old but barely used. Amazing. $20 sounds terrific. I really can't wait to see you play this game. This is gonna be really cool. So Abby was playing from Steam Next Fest on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? I guess it was Tuesday. This game called Pacific Drive that I've actually seen pop up a couple of times now. So I think there are a lot of people who are excited about it. But Abby's my friend, and so I'm excited to see Abby play it. Yeah, the game looks really, really interesting. It looks really interesting. But Abby wants a wheel controller, so we were talking about that the other day. Okay. Sunny says, I'd love to hear what you think. Abby says, of course, there's a tea shop near my that sells a lot of African blends too, so I'm sure they'll have it. Interesting. Sunny says, perfect. I have a bunch of teas in storage that I actually want to try one day when my ADHD gives me the brain space. Yes. Abby says, that's why you got to keep them where you can see them, so you end up using them. Hey, that's a thing for me too. Keeping things where I see them, I can see them so that I use them. All right, so we're letting the mixture to sit for allowing the mixture to sit for 10 minutes. So it's like, I feel like I really want to describe this, but I can't. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but it's the only thing that I can use. Like, it smells like if you were to make vinegar carrots. Like, it smells like cooked carrots with vinegar. Does that make sense? Does that give you a sense of what I'm smelling? Although actually, believe it or not, I don't actually mind carrots and vinegar, but there's something about my brain going, candy shouldn't smell like vinegar carrots, you know? Okay. Abby says, okay. Also, Leah, I checked their menu out. I think you're just gonna have to order everything, barring a few things for Grog. Okay, so this looks like a solid place then, huh? So this looks like a pretty good place. All right, good. Well, I'm excited then. I have to say that this particular town that's about 25 minutes away from me, has a lot of really interesting, a lot of really terrific and interesting food options. There's a Mediterranean place there that we really like a lot. One of the best coffee roasters in Virginia is there in this town. I was driving yesterday, so the pasty place, obviously, the only pasty shop within I don't know how many miles is there. And then yesterday when I was driving over there, I noticed that there's an Argentine pastry shop. It's called Tango. So yeah, it's Argentine. Yeah. So it's in a brand new place that looks like a cafe, but it's billed as a pastry shop that I'm going to have to check out. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this particular place, but it seems to attract interesting, new and interesting things that I haven't tried before. So it's exciting. Viper, good morning. It's so good to see you, my friend. How are you? How are things? Sunny says, oh no, vinegar carrots perfectly describes the smell flavor I hate. Sometimes taste it in bad carrots. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you do have a sense memory of what I'm talking about, which is probably helpful because it's not great. I'm not loving this. But obviously we're going to do a lot of different things to this before it becomes food. So, obviously they've got a few very authentic items on there. Amazing. And Viper is at work. Well, I at least you're on at least a brief break, I assume. And I'm sorry you're at work, but in a few more hours you will not be at work, and that will be good. In the meantime, hang in there. You got this. Okay. So after 10 minutes, the foam should be easily scooped off the surface with a spoon. Divide your mixture by straining the liquid into 3 bowls. Okay, so we got to strain liquid. So we need a strainer. That's a thing to start with. Sunny says sometimes my scent and taste memories get mixed up. Yeah. Well, I mean, and they're basically essentially, I don't want to say they're the same thing. They're obviously not the same thing. It's 2 different senses, but like so much of taste is related to scent. Like it's one of the things that like when people have when the whole like things tasting weird was like a feature of COVID. Like I think that's not quite so much anymore the way that the virus has evolved, but I don't know, I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor, don't listen to me. But was a result, the things tasting weird was like as a result of you not being able to smell, of people not being able to smell. So I think it's actually a pretty normal thing for people to link like scent and taste in that way. It definitely looks like it's doing the thing it's supposed to do. It's like there's foam on top, and it does look like it's kind of like clearing. I guess the like clearing must be as a result of bubbles. And so when the bubbles rise to the surface, it's like a thing that it does. So interesting. I'm so intrigued by all of this. Okay. Right. So the next thing we probably need to do actually to prep is I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, well, this is small. And if all of these things have to go in the fridge, I probably need to prepare for the fact that we're going to run out of fridge space. So let's put that here, and we'll put the silicone candy molds. These are going to need to be on a flat surface, right? So we have to think about mise en place for this, because otherwise we're going to be hating our lives. The gummy worms go here, like so. And then what we need is we need cooking spray, because we're supposed to spray the thing and then wipe out the excess. This is terrifying. This stage is terrifying. I'm like, how are we going to be able to like work fast enough to make this work? And also, is there going to be space in the fridge to like put all these things? Let me do a little bit of rearranging really quick, just to make sure that we're not going to like be hating our lives here. Okay, no, this I think this should be okay. I think this will be okay. I think it'll be all right. I think we'll have enough space here. I'm going to put this here and this over here. Sorry, I'm just, yeah, like I said, just rearranging a few things just to make sure that all of this is going to fit. Okay, yeah, that should be good. Let's see. Abby says, too bad Grog can't have paneer. Still looking at the menu. Hey, you live it up vicariously, Abby. I have no complaints about that. And Gareki has gone for a lurk. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's always good to see you. But I can. And so there are definitely times when like either I will go somewhere and eat something that he can't have, or I will just order something different. So that's okay. That's the thing that we can do in restaurants. Like I don't avoid stuff just because he has to, unfortunately for him. Making it occasionally very painful for him when I have things like the pasty that I have back there. It's just spinach and cheese. It's gonna be good. Vegetarian one. All right, 2 more minutes. Let's just kind of, I mean, I would say this actually looks pretty well clear. I think I'm gonna, right, so I think I'm actually just gonna have to do this over the sink. I think that's the only way for me to like do this, but I have to get like the foamy stuff off. It's quite gummy. stretchy and gummy, which I guess that's a good thing since that's what it's supposed to be doing. I'm trying not to disturb this too much because I want to be able to get all of the foamy stuff out. What I have to say is, yeah, if you are sensitive to scent, I don't think I would recommend doing this. I really hope this tastes better than it smells. But it is definitely going to set, right? Like, it's just... Hold on. I can, like, rinse this. This has just got water in it. All right, well, that's the timer for the thing we've already done. Okay. Right. Now, I don't know why we need to strain this, but it does want us to strain it. Okay, so Abby says, okay, so I'll have to curate the menu. Let me know a couple of hours before you go so I can tailor it for you to try the authentic things. Thank you, Abby. I really appreciate that. Tacos, hi, we're making gummy bears. This is wild. Look at this. All right. At what point do you flavor it? Would that help with the smell? I mean, so that's what we're doing right now. So we're flavoring it now. It wants me to strain it. I'm just kind of trying to like eyeball how much we might need for our mold. And then how much we might need for like candy hearts, which looks like that might actually be like enough. We might end up not having quite enough for gummy worms. I don't know. We'll just see. We'll see how this goes. Give me a second. I need my spatula here, which is now completely stuck. So we're going to get another one. This is so sticky. I'm so sticky. I haven't been properly sticky in a while. This is very sticky. Okay. Let me turn that off because it's driving me nuts. And then we have this. Yeah, I wouldn't really say that that's strained out like a whole lot. Okay. So then what this says is 1.5 teaspoons of candy flavoring. I assume this is half a teaspoon per amount. I usually feel like the candy flavoring though, you kind of like do by like drops, not by like half teaspoons. Which I think is very confusing. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. This one, we're going to do key lime. It's very limey. We're just going to leave that in there. And then the strawberry. Actually, I feel like I kind of want to do, can we do like half and half? Can we do like half? Okay, that we don't want to touch that. That's going to be sticky. Leah, what are you doing? Just not enough space. Too many things. I feel like I kind of need to work a little bit fast here because I don't know how fast this is going to set. But we're going to do some strawberry. I mean, this is definitely very intensely strawberry, so there's that. And then the mango. Actually, you know what? First of all, hold on a second. Let me do the sparkling wine first. Because then I think I can use, I think the mango is going to be a stronger flavor. And I can use the same dropper. I only have the 3 droppers. I don't know which one's which. Oh well. And then this one, mango. So I think we're going to do mango strawberry gummy worms. Key lime Venus de Milo. And sparkling wine hearts. Okay. Why are you not? There we go. That's honestly probably enough. This is very concentrated color. And then I'm going to use tulip red for the strawberry. And full-on electric orange for the mango. All right. So, whew. Stir that all up. Is that like too... Well, now it's got bubbles in it. Okay, so I need to be gentler with my stirring. Oops. All right, is that going to be pink enough? Maybe we'll add a little bit more pink. Hopefully. I mean, it is fun. I am having fun. I feel like a mad scientist, but hopefully we'll actually also be good. Night Captain Andrew, hi. How are you? It's good to see you. Okay. Night Captain Andrew would like to play 2 truths and a lie, and we're going with it looks like just sort of general truths today. Okay. We if you have not played this with us before, here's what's going to happen. We are going to read this out. You guys are going to guess via a poll which one is the truths and which one is a lie. And then after you guys vote in the poll, I will guess, and then Night Captain Andrew is going to tell us the truth. Okay, so here's how this works. Okay, so Night Captain Andrew says, 1, sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins. 2, the first woman in Congress was elected the year following women's suffrage. Or 3, bleach has expiration dates. Honest to goodness, I have no idea. Oh, wow, that's really red. That's really, really red. It's interesting that the red is so much redder than the pink was pink. All right, well, this is fine. So I'm trying not to disturb this too much. And also, I think I need to like take this out and just rinse them because I don't know where my other whisks are. All right. Oh, these are very similar. I kind of wish I had chosen 2 more visually distinct colors, but all right, now we know that. Now we know that that's a thing. It does smell a lot better though. Now it smells like fake fruit flavor instead of like vinegar carrots. Okay, hold on a second. I think my mods might actually all be a little occupied. So let me just quickly make a poll here. All right. Mm. Sorry. 1 second here. And we're gonna do a poll of 3 minutes. Which fact is not actually a fact? 1, sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins. 2, the first woman in Congress was elected the year following women's suffrage. Or 3, bleach has expiration dates. I could see all of these things being plausible. Okay, this actually needs to be like actually whisked, I think, because this is not actually like incorporating itself well. But I don't think I have to work quite as quickly as I was concerned I might. The other thing that I think is that it's distinctly possible that we could potentially just like microwave this for like 5 seconds and it would like redissolve it. I think potentially. All right, so let's just, yeah, this does not seem as bad as I thought. I think maybe I'm not going to have to work quite as quickly as I thought. All right, so first of all, let's spray this. And it says to wipe out the excess. So I'm just going to use a paper towel for this, I think. Although it doesn't actually look very excessive to me. And then we've got our, I'm just lightly spraying this. Spraying our molds here. Yeah, it looks like this is going to be okay, but I did in fact actually spray pan spray all over the floor, which is a disaster. I should not have done that. I don't want to slip. That would be bad. Okay. And then the last one is this thing, which I guess we'll see how this goes. Oh, I see. It's only split on one side. Got it. All right. So let's see how this goes. We may not be able to get this out. This is going to be interesting to see how this works, but let's try it. Des, hi. Okay. Abby says candy making is science. The amount of chemistry required is absurd. Well, then we're in trouble because I only barely passed chemistry. And Des is here. Are they ready yet? No. So in fact, here's what's going to happen, you guys, because these things actually have to set in the fridge for 6 hours to 24 hours. And so what's going to happen is we're going to go ahead and finish all of this and fill all of our molds and do all of the things. And then I'm going to skedaddle because I think actually it might actually end up being a little bit earlier than I expected, which is amazing. But then, yeah, so they have to set for a little while. And so you guys are going to have to come back. You guys are going to have to come back. I'm sorry. I know you didn't sign up for coming back, but you're going to have to. Because I will show you the results of this experiment tomorrow. I will also put pictures in Discord, I promise. Avi says, I don't buy that America just let women into Congress right after making them fight for the right to vote, amongst other things. Avi says we're going to have to share, Des. Yes. Oh, and Firebot wants to remind us to drink water and take meds and do laundry. Oh, and Des is not even arguing the need to share gummy candy. So I'm just, yeah, this is not going to work, is it? Nope. Yeah, this one's not going to work. See, look. Wait, maybe if I do it like this? No, because then it's going to leak out the top. Yeah, see, I don't think the Gummy Violinista Milo is going to work, despite everyone telling me that this was going to be fine. I wonder if we were to use the provided string to, like, wrap it up and tie it. This is very disappointing, friendos. What if we were to do it like this, right? So if we were to just kind of like, I don't want to distort it, but could we like bind this in such a way that this would be like tighter? Now I've got gummy candy junk all over my fingers. This is disgusting. This was bound to be sticky though. This is like what I signed up for today, right? I signed up for sticky today. So we'll just tie this like that. Hopefully tie this in like a little bit of a tighter way. Hold on a second. Let me get all the gunk off my fingers. If we were to fill this up a little bit more, would it stop leaking? I mean, it doesn't seem to be entirely leaking out. So maybe it is sufficiently stopped up that now it's not going to leak. I'm glad I put a thing under it, though, because that ended up making more of a mess than I expected. All right, so good news. I feel like it's set enough that maybe that worked. Maybe. But let's, instead of putting it in the fridge, let's just put it in a glass so that it like is assured to stay upright. All right, one down. I mean, it's pretty well, like, this is gummy. Like, this is set. Can you guys see this? It's like, right? Tastes better than the Pop Rocks did too. All right, so I am correct that even though it smelled gross, it actually tastes pretty good. All right, so now, well, hold on. Now, let's do this. I think this one's going to be easier. So let's get here. All right, so this is all starting to set. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try my theory, which is to pop this in the microwave for just a few seconds. And hopefully remelt it just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. Yeah, that worked great. That was fine. So that's a good thing to know too. That remelting it in the microwave actually works fine. Okay, so now we're going to carefully fill our little gummy hearts, trying not to put too much in each one so that it overflows. Oh, this is rough. I feel like a dropper really wouldn't work that well though. Like, I feel like pouring it is kind of the only way to go. Also, I don't think I needed to worry that like this was going to be like too, I worried a little bit about these molds that this was going to be too hot and it would warp the mold, but it's definitely not too hot. Oops, that one I kind of made a little bit of a mess on. Torn because trying to sort of work fast enough that this doesn't re-solidify, but also trying not to spill. And sorry, I'll look at chat in just a minute. I'm sorry, you guys. If you're saying anything, I apologize. We're definitely just in one of those moments where there's, oopsie, heck, that one was too fast. Where there's just too much going on for me to actually look at things. Although I have to say, even though I've made a little bit of like a drippy mess, this is going better than I expected. Oopsie. Oopsie, oopsie. She says as she completely overflows the mold. So one of the things that I'm kind of not surprised by is that you do in fact use just a very, very small amount per section. So if you were to try this yourself, and if you were to actually make, like, for example, just like little tiny gummy bears out of this recipe, you would need a lot of molds. You would need a lot of molds. I would say, just based on what I'm seeing here, I would go with a minimum of 6. We're going to have way too much. We're going to have a lot extra here. Okay, so let me move this over here. All right, so, woo, all right. So, first of all, Knight Captain Andrew, I agree that that it might be suffrage. That's the lie. That a woman was elected to Congress. I actually think a woman was elected to Congress before women had the right to vote. That's what I'm going to say. So hold on a second. And now I'm actually going to look at the answer. All right, so I'm going to scroll up. Where are we going here? Okay. All right. So Abby says, I'm good, Mama Does. How are you? How's the anniversary? All right, Knight Captain Andrew says, chat won. Yay, I also won. 2 was the lie. The first woman elected to Congress actually happened 4 years before women could vote. I actually thought I remembered that little piece of trivia, and so I'm glad that I was correct. And thank you. That was fun, Knight Captain Andrew. Des says, I'm good, and it was nice. We went out for lunch and had a quiet afternoon, then came home and chilled. Yeah, before. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so, All right, Des says, what can I say? You caught me at a good moment, just waking up and having my coffee. Greggy says, because you didn't stir the corn syrup. I did, though. I did. Eventually, I stirred it. Mom says, I think that's misleading. I have a nagging recollection that the first one was elected to Congress before women got the vote nationally. It happened in many states somewhat earlier. Oh yeah, all right. Let's see. Abby says, I think that is what Knight said. He wrote the lie was that the first woman in Congress was actually elected a year after. Oh, okay. Yeah. Mom says that the chat was lagging, so I wrote that before Knight revealed the response, but I didn't post until after. I see. All right, so Lassie says I should go. Bye, Leah. Bye, Lassie. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's really good to see you. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Opting out says one of these days we should do 3 truths and a lie, 2 truths and a lie. Fishing treaty edition. No, not today. No, definitely not today. We're not going to do that today because today is chaos. But we can certainly do that at some point. I suspect y'all are going to have to study up on your fishing treaty nonsense because yeah. All right. So, we have here 2 things of gummy worms. I'm going to just throw these in the microwave right away because they're clearly just a little bit too solid. I don't know why it says that it's going to take 6 hours in the fridge. These are like already pretty dang solid. 5 seconds. Gotta work fast, you guys. It's tough. All right, so here is, I think another few seconds is called for, because those are just a little bit more solidified than the others. Yeah. So we do have to work very fast. This is just this is a truth of this project. Yeah, this is going ever so slightly less well than the other one. So let's just, yeah, I'm gonna have to probably microwave that one a little bit more, but this one seems to be sufficiently liquidy for pouring. Yeah, so that one's okay. For some reason, this one is not heating up as quickly. Probably because there's less in it. I'm always to treat Leah. I will absolutely 100% do that. But after I am done filling these molds, because otherwise I suspect that I'm going to be hating my life. But I do have a good treat for today. My good treat for today is that I got heart-shaped cookies in my Imperfect Foods box this week. And so pouring this out of this container is going to be awful. Is there another container that I could use for pouring? No. We're just going to have to accept that this is likely to make a terrible mess. These worms were a terrible idea, for the record. And I'm going to attempt to do half strawberry and half mango. I'm working with the strawberry first because this one seems more prone to solidifying faster. So far, this is actually going okay, believe it or not. I don't know how much you guys can see this. I think my hands might be in the way, but this is so intriguing, you guys. I'm actually kind of excited to try these. And I am also kind of excited to, like, honestly, potentially do this again. Because the fact is that, like, the recipe does include instructions for making alcoholic ones. And I'm kind of like, what? You could do, like, you could end up doing, like, Kahlua gummies. Or, like, I mean, I don't even know. Like, what other, I mean, I don't, coffee gummy? I mean, okay, I don't know. Maybe that's not such a great idea. But, like, maybe Chambord? That's like raspberry? Oopsie, that one was too much. That's right. These are all going to be a little bit, there's going to be a variety here. Some of them are going to be a little bit more mango, and some of them are going to be a little bit more strawberry, and that's okay. Today actually would have been a good day to put music on. Didn't think of that. Because I don't have anything else to say about this. Okay. All right, I missed on that one, but that's okay. All right, so this is probably the last of our strawberry, which means that I can quickly take a glance at chat here. Okay, Leah looks hungry. Leah is hungry. I agree. Don't you use like vodka and Jello shots? That would work here too, I bet. I guess, but like I feel like something that has like more flavor to it would be better. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like something that has like actual like flavor would be better. I don't know if do actual gummy worms have like actually different flavors? when they're different colors? I feel like they do. I don't know that this one's going to be that obvious, but I feel like when you do like lime, that might be kind of more obvious. Oopsie, 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 oopsie. Little aggressive there. Can we not be quite so aggressive there? Eh. Like I said, it's been a little while since I consumed gummy candy on a regular basis. My memory of this is probably imperfect. Honestly, I can't believe this actually does appear to be like actually working. This feels like magic. They do have flavoring to them. Okay. As I was thinking about if alcohol would interfere with the chemistry, opting out says they do, and yet none of them are worm flavor. Misleading advertising at its worst. How do you know what worms taste like? Wait, I'm asking the wrong person that question. How do you know none of them are worm flavor? Do you know that worms don't taste like mango? Opting out? Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Okay, yeah. That one I really bungled. All right. Well, here. Can we finesse this in some way? Can we like eepy eeps? Okay. So I think my delightful delicious lovely mods have actually snoozed an ad for me. But since I'm not actually doing anything different and I've still got a ways to go on this, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run an ad. So that we will be ready to take a look at these when we've got everything. Yeah, I'm making a terrible mess. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run a quick ad. Those of you who are subscribers will see something. Those of you who are not may see some ads. It will be 3 minutes. I will just be continuing to do this, so you're not actually going to miss anything. And when we come back, we will chat about this whole process because this has been pretty fun. All right, I will be right back. And we are back. I have not actually finished this because I decided to microwave it again just a little bit because I think part of the problem was that it was starting to solidify. And what I would say is that the gummy worms, just because of the way they're like wavy here, are a little bit more of a challenge to fill than the gummy hearts were. I probably should have started with the gummy worms just because of how challenging this mold is to work with. But we're doing okay. It's just making a little bit of a mess. We might just have to take some little sharp scissors and just cut little bits off to make them perfect when we're done. Also, hi, I saw Shinji came in during the break. Hi, Shinji. And yes, I did start super early today because I have a doctor's appointment. So I had to make sure that I would have time for my doctor's appointment to get there and stuff. But we are making gummy candy today. And it's going pretty well. I tasted a little tiny bit of each of the flavors. And actually, it tastes good too. So, and because of how it's setting up as I'm working, I actually think we might have a success on our hands. Believe it or not. Certainly more successful than the Pop Rocks were anyway. Which did not work at all. All right, so that's good there. Let me rinse my hands because I'm sticky. Let me take a look at chat so that I'm not like completely ignoring you guys. Oh, okay, hi. All right. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me just quickly scroll up here. Beep. Jane says meaning ran long, so silly. Oh no. Opting out says you got me. I cannot be 100% sure that worms don't taste like mangoes. I do, however, have a strong suspicion about this, as they don't smell like mangoes. Relevant. Okay, Andrew says I saw a Star Trek cookbook once that had a recipe for Klingon worms, but it was just gummy worms made with bendy straws. Oh my gosh. Naga says I used some of my birthday gift money to buy myself some swanky custom Photoshop brushes and texture tools. Just did the installation is taking severe willpower to keep working my actual job over here and not just start drawing stuff. Oh no, this is super stuck. Oh no, this is super stuck. This is like set. All right, let me microwave this because I got to use the rest of this for the other ends of our gummy worms. Luckily, remelting it doesn't actually seem to be a problem. So hopefully this is going to be okay. Okay. Opting out says Chester is dreaming that he is a worm and that a giant fruit bat is chasing him because he smells like mango. Oh my God. These are so good. We just really need to start cataloging these. It distresses me that these adorable Chester dreaming ideas just disappear into the ether. Mom says Chester would probably prefer bacon flavored gummies. Fair. Ash, hi. Hello, hi. But he can't have any because of the sorbitol. That's true. Could he just have sorbit some instead of sorbit all? How are you guys so freaking clever? You guys are amazing. I don't even know how I know so many like super clever, smart people. Okay. Oh, Abby finally gave in to the urge to look up what the hell sorbitol is. Sorbitol is a hexahydric sugar alcohol used commonly in the food industry as a sweetener and also to improve the texture and shelf life of foods, but apparently is also a laxative if consumed in large amounts, which is probably why in Stardew Valley, Jody tells Vincent that he can't have any more gummies today because she doesn't want him. Never mind. Um. Also, hi Ash. Hi, how are you? Hi, Mini Des. It's good to have you around. Yeah. So, honestly, microwaving the partially set gummy solution doesn't seem to be doing it any harm. So I'm just making sure that this is like completely dissolved. Although it does re-release the vinegar carrot scent, and I'm not a huge fan of that. Okay, so those ones are done. I may just actually just turn this around. I think that would be easier if I just turn this around a little bit. Okay, so we are filling up these molds. Yeah, the gummy worms. I suspected it was gonna be a little bit more challenging than the hearts. It's actually a lot more challenging. I would say if I were to do this again, I would choose something easier. I think the hearts were about beginner gummy speed more than the worms. This is very much like snot consistency now. It's very disgusting. And also it's green. Yeah, I need to put this back in the microwave. This is starting to bother me. It looked like it was going to be liquidy enough, and it just isn't. Right. So Ash, how are you today? It's really good to see you. Byrne says it's why sugar candies make big problems in large quantities. I would imagine there's probably other things that also cause that. But there we go. Yeah, this is better. This is a little, it's just liquidier enough that it's a little easier to control. The globules were distressing. Too hard to control. But the liquidier it is, the easier it is. And so, yeah, so when I went to the candy store, the candy making store, we have a cake and candy making store, thankfully, locally, which is fabulous. Its existence brings me typically like maybe monthly joy. The employees are actually incredibly helpful, and I remember, so the person that sold me the mold was like, she's like, yeah, I decided I would never do that again. It's like the stuff sets way too fast, and it's like really hard to control. And I was like, okay, good to know. And like to an extent I agree. But I would actually do this again. Like you kind of get the hang of pouring it, and it's the kind of thing that you're only going to get better at with practice, right? And knowing that you can kind of just like reheat it, re-microwave it is good. The other thing that might be interesting to note is if you were to put it in like a warm water bath, for example, like if you were just doing like one flavor, if you had to do like a lot of it, and you were to put it in like a warm water bath just to keep it from setting, like I actually think that would also work very well. But you would need to find some other way of transferring it the from the bowl or whatever you were using to the mold. Because you definitely wouldn't be able to use a dropper, right? Like it would solidify inside the dropper and you would hate your life. So you really kind of have to pour it. All right, last one, and then we're done. We are out of mold. All right. There. Cool. Cool. All right. Huh. All right. Opting out says, okay, non-gummy lunchtime for me. Lurky lurk. Amazing. I hope you enjoy your lunch. Yes, some of these are a little overfilled. I'm not going to overthink it. But look, so these ones mostly are mango strawberry. These ones are mostly mango lime. We made sparkling wine flavored hearts and a key lime Venus de Milo. I have no idea how that's going to work out. We're just going to have to try it. Mom says, is that the place that's packed and tiny where we went one time? Yes, but also no. Okay, so there's two things. First of all, it's actually a lot bigger than it looks. This is totally set. This is like totally set on the cutting board without ever having refrigerated it. These are going to be amazing. This is totally going to work. I'm so excited. Assuming they come out of the molds. This is going to be really exciting. So no, it is the same place. We did go there. But the original owner, the one who, I don't know how to describe this. This place was chaos. She was the only person who could ever find anything there. They had so many things, but literally if you walked in, it was like you had to like ask her to pick it out of the warehouse because you were not going to be able to find it yourself. However, she sold the business to a couple of longtime employees who were clearly frustrated with that. Because this place is glorious now. Like they have everything and you can just like go in and get it and pick it up yourself. The only thing out of all of this stuff that they didn't have was the sorbitol. And I bet you if I asked them if I were trying to do this on a regular basis, they would start carrying it because they're terrific. They were like, when they put it into their computer, like, okay, so yeah, I know you need this soon, but can we get this? Like, can we get it? And it turns out they can, so they can order it. But I didn't, I was a little short on time when I tried to have them do it. So they're amazing. So they have a bazillion million different kinds of candy flavors. They have walls and walls and walls of candy molds. They carry all the gel food colorings. They have a bazillion million like cake toppers and cake boards and containers for holding cupcakes and I don't know. They have everything. Everything a baker or candy maker could ever want. They basically have, and it's like a 10-minute drive for me. It's amazing. I love my life. All right, so Mom says, so interested to see how the sparkling wine ones turned out. That would be fun with edible glitter too. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Oh, I have luster dust. I could have done that. Oh, that would be really fun. Oh, I next time I will totally do that. We'll put luster dust in it. We should do this again. I think this is fun. This was a fun little project. And the thing is that actually that Grog actually really kind of likes gummy candy. Like he does really like actually gummy bears, but he can't have them. And this, of course, doesn't have anything in it that he's not allowed to have. So he can actually eat it. All right, so Naga says you can dust the sticky outsides of the gummies. Oh, yeah, that's true. I bet you it will be sticky enough, especially because there's going to be like like oil on it. They're going to be a little bit oily. Not like a lot oily, but like a little bit oily. Ooh. Ooh, that's fun. All right, well, let me, hold on a second. Let me just see, because I was actually surprised at how fast it set just on the, like on the counter. Could I just potentially, oh, look! Look at this! All right, I'm gonna put this back in the fridge. Because it says to let it set for 6 hours. And so like we want this to be able to be like room temperature or whatever. But like we want to be able to be held at room temperature. And so we don't want to like, they're very sticky too. So maybe they'll be less sticky. It's a DLD gummy heart. It's so cute. Let me get some luster dust.
Stick with me, and you'll never go hungry again.
Toxie, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Just passing by to say hi. Thank you for the resubscription, my friend. And I hope this day is finding you well. We've made gummies. I just pulled out one because they're supposed to be in the fridge for 6 hours to 24 hours. But we had a question about whether we could put luster dust on them. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to put some luster dust on it. So yeah, we've had a candy making adventure today. How have you been? So we can just dust these with luster dust. Maybe a little bit more than that. Yeah, a little bit more than that. Perfect. Look. Wait, can you see that now it's got a little bit of a gold? A little bit of gold. This camera's better. Let me just do it this way. A little bit of a goldy dust on it. So cute. Oh, I'm thrilled. Of course, now I've got luster dust all over my hands, but it's fine. Yeah, see, these are very, very sticky. And so I'm kind of wondering if maybe the time in the fridge will let them be less sticky. So this one, we put some pink food coloring in it, and it should be sparkling wine flavored, and I'm going to try this. Toxie says they're cutting down a tree across the street, and I'm hoping no one gets final destination. Oh my god. Yeah, me too. Also that's a noisy process. So hopefully that's not too distressing to you. Pi says if it wasn't winter, I'd say that cute little gummy heart belongs on top of a scoop of strawberry ice cream. Yes. Okay, Toxie's got a lot of projects in the work and surviving the cold. Good. Yes. I'm glad you are surviving. I am also surviving. It was like 29 degrees when I woke up this morning. I was not a fan. Oh, when you were holding it up near your face, you could really see the metallic sheen. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Okay. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to see if this is any good. So this is the sparkling wine one. This is the one I was least sure about. Initially I was like, yeah, I don't think that's really like, it doesn't really taste like sparkling wine, but then like at the back end, you do get it. It is very sweet though. It's like a sweet, like I don't know what I was thinking. Of course it's sweet. It's got corn syrup, sugar, and sorbitol in it. So of course it's going to be sweet. But like I didn't get the sparkling wine until kind of like the back end of it. But it's very gummy. I'm absolutely thrilled that this actually worked. That's really cool. All right, so here's what's going to happen. So tomorrow at 4 p.m., 4. Oh, right. And I've got to treat Leah. I have a pending treat Leah. So I'm going to have a cookie. Because I can. So thank you, Mom, for the treat, Leah. These are rescued Valentine's Day cookies. So, right, tomorrow at 4:00. I will, the Gummy Venus de Milo. We will unmold that live on stream. We will try and see how that worked out. And maybe the gummy worms too. It'll be harder to do that. I'm concerned that they might end up sticking together and I might end up having to like throw some like powdered sugar or something on top of them. I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but the Gummy Venus de Milo, we can definitely unmold on stream. So come back. I'll be back there on the sofa. We're going to be playing Hades. And checking out the fruits of our labors today. And you guys can get a grog reaction too, because he'll be able to taste them. So I think that's going to be probably all for today. Jane says it's cold here today too, kind of rude. Toxie says 16 degrees here. Getting down to 4 this weekend, but the mountaintop was -47. I assume that's Fahrenheit. Because 16 Celsius is actually rather warm. Oh my goodness. Shinji's getting 6 inches of snow. Yes. Gummy success. Yeah, I'm actually really excited, especially after the Pop Rocks didn't work. So, you guys, before we go, because I actually do have a few minutes. I'm gonna set the oven. I'm gonna let the oven go so that I can warm up my pasty. But you guys, so it's still candy month. And we have a couple more Thursdays left in the month. The 22nd and the 29th. Although the 29th I'm probably not. I think I'm not. I can't remember which one of those days. One of those days I'm not going to be streaming because Grog has an appointment that I have to drive him to. But I don't remember which day it is. I'd have to look at the calendar. And that'll all be in my announcements anyway. But like, can you guys think of any other candy that would be fun to try to make a homemade version of? I feel like this was actually kind of involved, which is like, but not that bad, right? Like, it's not that bad. It didn't take that long. It took like a little under 2 hours? Have a strong suspicion. Sour Patches, like super sour grummies. Have a strong suspicion after our experience with the Pop Rocks that citric acid might be the key to that. We might even be able to amend our gummy worms for sour patch gummy worms. So that might not even require a whole that might even not even require a whole different that might even not require a whole different recipe. I'm curious about that now. Can we? Oh no, this one is advertising a specific product. Jump to recipe. Cubed watermelon lime juice, honey, gelatin, granulated sugar. So this one's just doing Well, we can look into that. Ooh. Pie says weirdly specific memory popping up has me saying saltwater taffy. Interesting. Now, they use a specific machine to do that. And I don't know if that's possible to do by hand or with a mixer or something, but it's interesting. It's something to look into. Okay. Here's a recipe. And I think I'm right. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it's citric acid that you use. Let me hold on. There's a bunch of ads on this one. Hard to see. Okay. Rosé wine, gelatin, granulated sugar, and 2 teaspoons of food grade citric acid. In a small bowl, mix together remaining 1/3 cup granulated sugar and 2 teaspoons of citric acid. Pour the gummies out of the molds, let them come to room temperature, toss them in the sugar mixture to coat. So yeah, we don't have to do this again. We can just turn some of these into Sour Patch gummy worms. So that'll be fun. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow too. Lollipops. That's an idea. I do have lollipop sticks. Like I have sticks that I bought actually at the same store for corn dogs. And so I still have a bunch of them left. So that's an option. Do you have a particular thought about that? Caramels. Okay, so caramels are a little trickier. The only reason that caramels are a little trickier is that you do need to use typically cream for that. And we can't really do cream. I could do maybe like coconut cream caramels. That could work. I was actually thinking, because my husband's lactose intolerant is the only thing. So we just kind of have to work around that. The only thing that I'm curious about though is here's the thing, like Grog can't have most regular candy bars, right? This might be nuts. Literally nuts. Well, not really literally nuts, literally legumes. But what about like actually making a candy bar? Like what about like actually making something super complicated like Snickers? Doesn't Snickers sound super complicated? So like you would need to do something with the chocolate to get it to set, either tempering it, which I've never done by hand. I've only ever used a tempering machine to do that. Or using like a vegetable shortening or something to solidify it. The nougat, which I have no idea how to do. We'd have to find out. I mean, can it be really that different than marshmallow? Probably not, but we could find out. The caramel, which we'd have to make like with like coconut milk or something. And then the nuts. And then assembling it? Oh, I bet actually. I bet if you were to do it, you could do it like in a sheet. So that's an interesting idea. I think that might be an interesting idea. The other thing is, so my my maiden name is also the name of a candy bar. And that could be fun. That would be a little less complicated, but along similar lines. Okay, so Toxie says I couldn't eat the coconut caramels because I'm allergic to coconut. Oh no. All right, well, but you could ogle them. You won't have an allergic reaction to ogling them, hopefully. Yes, Brigitte. My last name is my maiden name is Leah Three Musketeers. That's exactly it. You will eat them only with your eyes. Okay, I highly recommend eating them only with your eyes if you're allergic to coconut, because coconut is typically, I feel like, candy-wise, kind of the best option for replacing. And I've made caramel with coconut milk before, and it does work. You do get a little bit of coconuttiness, but I don't necessarily think that that's a terrible thing. The other thing that Grog really likes, that could be fun is Grog really, really, really likes peppermint patties. And that is another thing. Like, how does the peppermint pattiness come about? I don't know. How would you do that? We could Google it and find out. So that's a thought. I don't know. However, I do have a Discord. Oh, Kit Kat. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. Oh, homemade coffee crisp. Oh, I don't want to know how to do that. Never mind. Oh no, we talked about this. The wafer making process. No, because I talked about this with Brigitte. I Googled it and I discovered that the wafer making process is definitely not something that a home cook can do. You just can't do it. It's an industrial process full of industrial chemicals. And you need like, I don't know, whatever you need, I can't do it. Like every recipe I found uses pre-made wafer cookies. And I'm just kind of like, well, then what's the point? You're just covering them in chocolate. So, whatever. So that was disappointing to me. Because like that struck me as being kind of a fun thing too. Right. But hold on. I do have a Discord. Here's the Discord link. If you are not in the Discord and you have thoughts and opinions and considerations about all of this, then you are more than welcome to. There's a stream suggestions channel in Discord. If something occurs to you or I missed something or something, then definitely feel free to throw that suggestion in the Discord. And I don't know, we could do maybe a poll, or I'm also going to have to like Google and see if I can figure out like how to do things and if they're possible, and also like if we can eat them. So there's some limiting factors, but whatever, let's try. This is fun. This is all new adventures. We had one that worked and one that didn't. and I guess the kettle corn kind of counts too, because you're kind of candying the kettle corn. That definitely works. That was delicious. Kit Kat. If you do the Snickers bars in sheets without the chocolate coating, then cut them down, put them on sticks, dip them in the chocolate to finish. It's lollipops too. That is true. That's a good idea, Pies. Naga says, I was just suggesting fun things for your name to have been Mr. Goodbar. Yeah, Leah, Mr. Goodbar, Leah Kit Kat. These things are all true. Toxie says, nothing like a good Biscoff, maybe chocolate covered. Ooh. That sounds delicious. Corey, hi, Corey, hi, how are you? Corey has redeemed hydrate. Thank you. Yes, I'm talking entirely too fast. Also, Omegas Prime, hi, how are you? It's really good to see you. Look, you guys, wait, I can show you. Hold on. I'm gonna show you because you guys didn't get to see, because we're basically done. We're basically done. We're basically done making gummy things. We ate one of them, but they're not fully set yet. So I made sparkling wine flavored heart gummies, and then I made mango, strawberry, and mango lime gummy worms, and they worked great. It was amazing. So we're gonna, tomorrow at 4:00, we will try out those some more. And because we also made a gummy Venus de Milo a la Simpsons, we will unmold that on stream tomorrow and figure out how that went. I honestly couldn't tell you. I have no idea if that's going to work or not, but we'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow. Or hyphenation, Leah Almond Joy. I feel like I need to change my Discord name to Leah Almond Joy now, because that works really well. Corey Brain still booting up. I'm at 20% human. 20% human's pretty darn good. I think 20% human is good for brain still booting up. Y'all caught me at peak caffeine this morning. I was a little manic, but it's fine. It's fine. We're all fine. So I can't believe this worked. I'm just thrilled. That was just really, really fun. However, I do have to go to the doctor at 1:00. And so this will give me a little bit more breathing room for which to consume my lunch, change my clothes, because I don't think I need to go to the doctor in this dress, especially because, like I said, it's freezing outside, and get organized to go do that. So I think that is probably where we're going to end stream. Let me take a quick peek and see. Oops. Can you please can you please? So I do have a friend who is live and was in fact doing hold on a second here. Sorry. Give me 1 second here. I'm doing my best. Here. Who was doing a cooking stream, who doesn't normally do cooking streams. Oh, okay. Who's now playing Don't Starve Together. Okay, well, whatever. We're still going to raid Tourney. Right. First of all, thank you so much to my moderators, including Grognard Gourmand, who is probably going to have to deal with some of the aftermath of this because I don't know that I'm going to have time for my appointment. So thank you, darling. I love you. I hope you enjoy your non-grog poison gummies. Also, thank you so much to Des Dabbles. Des took yesterday off because it was her anniversary and Valentine's Day. Isn't that sweet? So Des will be live again on Friday at 1 o'clock. That is tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern. Probably playing Dark Souls. I think playing Dark Souls. Getting very, very close to the end. So things are very exciting over there right now. So definitely drop Des a follow if you are interested in such things. And then... also, Brigitte, aka Byron Mask, who has already teased her return to streaming on March 2nd, potentially. This is still a little bit of a loose state, but is coming back to the streaming space, and I can hardly wait. We have so many plans. You guys, I can't wait. And oh, by the way, Brigitte and I often stream together. So if you want to make sure to catch that when she goes live, drop her a follow now. Also, thank you so much to Say My Jane. I really appreciate you trying to help moderate the space while you're working, especially on a day like today where I'm like fully overlapping work. I appreciate you so much. It's so lovely to have you here. You bring such a good energy to your space, and I'm very, very grateful for you. Now, also, I do, in fact, also, oops, that is not the right keyboard. Leah, when you can't type on your laptop and expect it to come up on the computer, that's just not how this works. I do have various socials. I'm on Instagram, Threads, and then there's the Discord link again. I will probably post pictures of this project because this is just too fun not to share. So if you want to see pictures, you can follow me in one of those 3 places. I'm sure the pictures will appear in all 3 places. So that will, and then, or you can just come back here tomorrow at 4. Speaking of which, I will be live again tomorrow at 4 o'clock playing Hades. I think tomorrow we're going to be using the extra darkness trick by choosing a weapon that gives us extra darkness so that we potentially get our second death defiance. And then also picking up, I think it's an additional 3 chthonic keys. I think we need 3 more to unlock the last weapon, because hopefully then somebody will tell us what we do with this Titan blood, because I don't know what that is, and I can't wait to find out. So even though we may get our booties handed to us again by Meg or the Bone Hydra or potentially Theseus and the Minotaur, we still have other unrelated goals to keep us feeling like we're making progress, which is important for me. So hopefully that will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and you guys can also see the Venus de Milo Gummy. I feel so ridiculous, but this is so much fun. You guys, I had such a good time today. It's funny because it's hard to find a balance between like doing things that are comfortable and familiar because it's easier, and because like I have a sense of like what the pacing is going to be, and like the stream is a little bit more relaxed, and doing something that is entirely unfamiliar outside of my experience and anxiety producing and nailing it. Because when you nail it, it feels really good. So thank you for hanging out today, you guys. Toxie says, I'm so excited. Back tomorrow, drop in while I study. Thank you. Does the stream is a lot of fun to watch? It's nice to see you have fun with this. Thank you. Toxie says, cooking stream while studying for national boards. Heck yeah. No cooking tomorrow. Hades tomorrow. But maybe just a little smidge of cooking when we unmold our last gummy. Right. Okay. So let's go ahead and set up this raid. Raid. No, that's the wrong command. This is the right command. And we're going to raid my friend Churney Adventures, who is, in fact, sponsoring this con that will be taking place in 2 weeks. This is the person who has organized all of this. They are amazing. Their community is delightful. You guys will love them. They all have the most creative usernames I think I've ever seen anywhere on Twitch. It's just a bunch of really creative, lovely, funny people. And I think you guys will love it over there. Churney is currently making good on a subathon goal from December, doing a cooking stream and also apparently playing Don't Starve Together. I don't know what's going on over there, but this is what's happening in Churney's space today. So I would appreciate it if you all would grab one of these raid messages. Hold on a second. If appropriate to your subscription status, and just pop on over and say hello there. Okay, why can't I copy this? Please, 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 Discord, please. No, I mean, please, Twitch, please. Why is this so hard? Why is copying a message so dang hard? Boop, boop, boop. Okay, I got it. Amazing. Yeah, so if you wouldn't mind copying one of those messages, even if you have to run away, I would love to see you over there. Have a great night, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.